Does Zeekr 7X really hide flaws behind its sleek design? Is Xiaomi YU7 the miracle SUV everyone hopes for, or simply a story still waiting to prove itself? What's the truth behind the headlines, behind the hype, behind those massive pre-orders? What if everything you assume about their safety, strength, and build quality isn't the full picture? The tension starts now. You hear the numbers, the promises, the big headlines. YU7 boasting ultra-high strength steel, an embedded roll cage, thousands of safety checks, claims of a 770-kilometer range, and 690 horsepower. Zeekr flaunting its luxury touches, Geely's global backing, comfort that undercuts Tesla's price. On paper, both look untouchable. But paper isn't real life. Paper doesn't rattle after 2 years of driving. Paper doesn't squeak when the cabin heats up. And that's where questions start to appear. Some Zeekr owners ask, does my 7X feel as solid as the luxury badge suggests? And for YU7, the bigger doubt is, can Xiaomi really transition from smartphones to SUVs without the learning curve showing up in quality? Every glossy review, every spec sheet looks great. But behind closed garage doors, in daily drives, in long-term ownership, that's where truth surfaces. And that's what we're investigating. Let's pull back the curtain. Start with Xiaomi's YU7. Its body uses 2,200 MPa ultra-high strength steel in all 4-door anti-collision beams. For context, many rivals max out at 1,500 MPa. That's a massive leap. Their data says the front doors can take 52.4% more load and absorb 40.2% more energy in a crash. Rear doors, 37.6% stronger, 25.4% better energy absorption. The A and B pillars are reinforced with 6 hot-formed expansion tubes, forming a roll cage style structure. Xiaomi claims the A pillar's strength rises by about 35%, and the B pillar by an incredible 70.5%. Combine this with high-strength steel and aluminum alloys, making up 90.2% of the structure, and the torsional stiffness comes in at 47,610 Nm per degree, among the highest in its class. They've run more than 50 crash tests, aligned with standards like C-NCAP and C-IASI. On paper, this SUV looks bulletproof. But here's the nuance. Most of this data comes from internal testing. Early prototypes can perform flawlessly, but mass production is where challenges appear. Building hundreds of thousands of cars with the same tight tolerances is much harder. Small panel gaps, seals, or weld variations can create rattles, squeaks, or misalignments. That's where the YU7 still has to prove itself. Now turn to Zeekr's 7X. Positioned directly against Tesla's Model Y, starting around 239,900 yuan, about $33,700. It offers range options between 605 and 780 kilometers, depending on setup. It's already gained traction in China. Owners praise its modern interiors, soft materials, spacious displays, and comfortable top trims. Geely's decades in global auto manufacturing give Zeekr an advantage in scaling production. But it isn't perfect. Reports mention hard plastics in lower trims, doors that don't always close with the same satisfying solidity, wind noise at higher speeds, and harsher suspension without air setups. None of these are deal breakers, but they show how build quality varies across versions. And that's the real twist. YU7 dazzles with structural engineering on paper, but the unknown is consistency in mass production. Zeekr benefits from experience and a stronger track record, but refinement depends heavily on which trim you buy. Now let's dive deeper into NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. For YU7, early impressions point to a quiet cabin. Double laminated glass, a stiff body, and careful insulation help suppress sound. On smooth roads, reviewers note impressive silence. But we don't yet know how it performs after years of real-world use. Ultra-stiff bodies can sometimes amplify vibrations, and time will tell if seals and joints remain as solid as day one. For Zeekr 7X, the feedback is more complete. Premium trims with air suspension and higher insulation deliver a calm, luxurious ride. But base trims let in more wind and road noise, showing a wider gap between versions. Now consider performance and what it does to build quality. The YU7 Max is a beast, about 690 horsepower, sprinting 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.23 seconds. Independent tests even showed it exceeding its rated output, delivering 101.2% of claimed horsepower at the wheels. That's extraordinary. But power at this level stresses every component: motor mounts, cooling systems, seals, and welds. If Xiaomi engineers didn't overbuild these areas, small weaknesses could appear over time. It's not about failure. It's about whether refinement holds up under pressure. Zeekr's performance is slightly more modest, but carefully packaged. AWD air suspension and premium hardware are available on higher trims, ensuring stability under stress. Again, consistency matters. So what's the verdict? Here's what looks strong and reliable. YU7 structural safety is genuinely impressive. Torsional stiffness, steel quality, and crash absorption put it at the top of the game. Zeekr's high trims deliver premium refinement, strong comfort, and proven production stability. Here's what still feels uncertain. For YU7, how well Xiaomi maintains quality across mass production, long-term NVH performance, and software reliability. For Zeekr, whether lower trims feel too compromised for a brand that markets itself as luxury. And here's why this matters to you. Because the small details, the way a door closes, the silence at highway speeds, the durability of panels, are what you live with every day. They shape comfort, safety, and resale value. A tiny rattle can become a daily annoyance. A poorly insulated cabin can make long drives exhausting. And a mismatch between promise and reality can damage trust. So the real question is, when brands say premium or luxury, do they deliver consistently? Or only in the brochure? If I had to call it, the YU7 edges ahead on raw engineering potential. Zeekr edges ahead on production confidence. One is a bold leap, the other a steady hand. And the competition between them is closing the gap faster than most people expected. Here's the surprising takeaway. Neither car collapses under scrutiny. Both are raising the bar, but both also carry compromises. YU7 with the risk of scaling, Zeekr with the risk of trim-level shortcuts. What shocks me most is how fast Xiaomi, a newcomer in cars, has caught up to Zeekr, a company with years of EV production. So, which would you bet on? The YU7, with its groundbreaking structural safety but unproven track record? Or the Zeekr 7X, with steadier execution but trim-dependent refinement? Now I want to hear from you. Which feature shocked you most? The YU7's roll cage pillars and ultra-strong steel, or the Zeekr's blend of luxury and experience? Do you think these EVs can really challenge Tesla and BMW when it comes to build quality? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if this breakdown gave you clarity. Subscribe for more eye-opening dives into the world of cars. And share this video. Because when it comes to knowing the truth about the cars of the future, staying informed isn't optional. It's essential. And just so you know, this video is based on verified reports and expert reviews. Always check official sources before making any decision.